All right, good evening. Welcome into the Teammates Mentoring Hour, the start of a very special month in terms of mentoring here in Nebraska. We'll get to that here on the Teammates Mentoring Hour. I'm Austin Norman. It's not about me, though. We got three wonderful guests in studio. We've got Emily, Ken, and Andrew here with us. Emily, we'll start with you. You're right to my right, and you brought this to my attention. The start of Nebraska Mentoring Month. That's a big deal for a mentoring program, I'm sure.
It is. We're very excited that Governor Pillen has declared February Nebraska Mentoring Month. So really focusing on the impact that mentoring is having both in Lincoln and across the state. And also want to highlight the need for more mentors. We've got about 600 kids here in Lincoln who are looking for a mentor. So want to make sure that we get that word out there and let people know that we need them, the kids need them, and we would love to have them be a part of a mentoring program.
Absolutely. We got the numbers last week about just how much of a need there is, how much opportunity, I should say, there is for people to be mentors. And we got two of them in studio here. We got Ken and we got Andrew. Ken, we'll start with you. Introduce yourself. Who are you and what do you do?
I'm Ken Kojal. I'm recently retired from the Lincoln Police Department. I was a detective there. Spent 45 years on the police department, enjoying my my retirement.
Well-earned retirement.
Yes.
Congratulations.
And I just want to thank you, Austin, and you, Emily, for having us here. That's fantastic. I know Andrew will agree with me that this mentoring program is very important and it's very rewarding for us as well.
Absolutely. And I'm Andrew. I'm a sixth grade math teacher at Irving Middle School. I've been a teacher for about 15 years now there at Irving, and been a mentor for about 5 years. And, just like Ken said, very thankful to be here and just talk about the importance of mentoring and how much of an impact it can, really have on our community.
Absolutely. So y'all have been in the program for a while. Emily, when did you start? What got you into Teammates? And now you're working there. It's your job.
I've been with Teammates since 2015. I am on my second mentee now. She's a freshman this year. We've been together since she was an elementary schooler. And it's been wonderful to watch her grow and change and our relationship grow during that time too. And it's just, it's such a great opportunity to make a connection with a young person and see how they're impacting the world and maybe hopefully have a little bit of an impact on her.
Absolutely. Ken, how long have you been mentoring?
I believe since 2019. I'm finishing off my 4th year.
Very cool.
I have a young man that's outstanding. I wish I could give you his name. I think I'm learning more from him than he's learning from me.
It's awesome. Andrew, you've been in the program for a while too?
Yeah, I'm actually on my second mentee as well. My first mentee, we were together for about a year, and then he moved to another town. And then my current mentee, we've been together for just 5 years, just recently. And so actually I've been a mentor for him since he was in 6th grade, and now he's a junior at Southeast. And so it's just been a lot of fun to see him, grow and mature and just get to know him. And I've also learned a lot from him as well, just as much as he's learned from me. So it's been great. A former colleague of mine, she actually is a mentor as well. And she was the one that kind of recruited me or kind of talked me into mentoring. She came up to me one day and said, are you interested in all at Teammates? And I didn't know a lot about it at the time. I had heard of it. And she said, you should really think about it. And I said, okay. And so like a month went by, and she came to me again and said, have you thought any more about, Teammates? And I said, well, a little bit. And I said, tell me more about it. And she kind of explained the program and how it works. And you meet once a week, for about an hour through Teammate. And I finally just decided might be something that's good for me to do. And I signed up for it. And I'm glad she kept asking me about it. And, it's been great. I haven't regretted a minute of it.
When she first told you about the program, was it just something you said, oh yeah, I'll think about it, just kind of be polite, never really had any designs on?
Yeah, exactly. I think that initially I was like, yeah, it sounds good. But, other things going on, you think your life's kind of, busy. And so if she didn't ask me again, I might not have done it. But she came up to me again and just talked about it. And yeah, so that's when I applied, and then, yeah, they matched me up, and so it's been great ever since.
Persistence. That's why
Yeah,
we do this.
yeah,
right?
exactly,
Stay after it.
exactly.
And, you hear it once. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. Great idea. Love to do it. But the busyness, I'm sure, is something that comes up. I mean, being a detective, being a teacher, not something you can just, put to the side. You got responsibilities outside of, 9 to 5.
Right.
What is it about that hour that makes it so worth it to block out an hour every week for you guys as mentors?
Go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to think of where to start. Initially, when Andrew talks about being a mentor, I believe Tom Osborne had come to the police department and talked. And I had been thinking about something like that for a long time. And then I'm thinking, man, I'm way too busy. Back then, Chief Blindmeister said we could do it on duty, which was fantastic. But with my job, we were not very reliable sometimes. So I was always juggling it around with my mentee. I didn't have a specific date, but finally, after a couple of years, I did. And I found out how important it was. I just thought I was going to be too busy even on my days off. And the rewards for both of us is fantastic. And I really look forward to seeing him, and he does as well. When I see him come walking down the hallway, he's looking, he's pumped up. When we first started, he goes, man, this old guy, he's looking at me like, so we had a little bit of, kind of analyzing each other back and forth. I'm thinking, oh, do we really want to do this? Is it going to be something that's beneficial to him, and so on? So we have sports, obviously, as a common interest. He'll be quite the athlete. He's quite the athlete right now. But it's gotten to the point I don't want to miss seeing him. And we had a pretty good streak going. And now we like to play games. He's super. He's smarter than me. He's quicker than me. He wins most of the time. But I see his kindness. Even when I first met him, he's kind of a bigger kid. He is an athlete, and you would expect an ego, but he really didn't have that. And just kind of a plug for the teammates. I had been seeing him, for several months, kind of got to know some of his buddies. We'd eat lunch together, watch him share with everybody else. And one of his best friends goes, man, who is this guy? And my mentee goes, yeah, we're with the teammates. He goes, man, I wish I had a teammate. Mm-hmm. And I don't know anything about the young man, but it was, sometimes you would expect them to go, what the heck? What do you need something like that for? Why are you hanging out with this old grandpa? But we really got to the point now where we just sit back and talk. Now he'll be going to, he'll be a freshman next year. And so we're talking about that, a little bit of the anxiety that he has, but not really. He just is so calm. He's, it's fantastic. So I'm upset if I'm missing him, and I'm going to miss him next week, so he knows. And even now to the point where his brother walks down the hallway and waves at me and that type of thing. So very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel pretty fortunate as a teacher because we do get we get 2 planned periods a day. And so it's worked out actually pretty well. I have a planned period, 7th period, which is the end of the school day. And so it's kind of nice because on Fridays, that's when we meet. And so it's kind of just a nice way to I feel like just to end my week, like end of the day, go meet for an hour. We can talk about how our weeks went. So it's just kind of something for both, at least for me to look forward to, for both of us to look forward to. And it's a lot of fun. It's funny because I have a few students in class that have teammate mentors too. And so on Fridays when I'm leaving early every Friday, and one of my students is like, well, where are you going? I was like, I'm going to go. I have a teammate over at Southeast High School, and he's like, oh, you you're a teammate? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's cool. And so it's kind of fun to hear that. But yeah, and then that hour is just, I think at first, when I first started the program, I was kind of in the same boat. Like, what are we going to talk about, or what are we going to do, or is this going to be awkward? And it's really been the opposite. We've just been really fortunate. I know not maybe every partnership like that is perfect, but it's really been just a great relationship, and we bonded well, and just he likes football a lot. I like football. He's a big Cowboys fan. I'm not really a Cowboys fan, so we talk about that a lot. So he was pretty disappointed when they lost the other week, but it's just a lot of fun. We play board games. Some weeks we just talk about, how was your week? And when he was at Irving, it was fun because they have a rec center there, and so we could play pool and ping pong, or sometimes we just go shoot hoops. So there's all kinds of things to do, and and then other weeks we'll just talk the whole time. And he's such a nice kid. It's not me just asking him questions the whole time. He is also just very good about asking me about how things are going for me too. So I feel like it's just a very back and forth mentor-mentee relationship. So always look forward to it. And I tell myself too, it's seems like a commitment at first, but really, it's just an hour, out of your week, and it's really beneficial, to me as well as to him. So, yeah.
I would sure echo that point. I just thought it was going to be way too much, committing an hour, and then you find out, oh my God, no, I just can't miss this. And I want to express my appreciation to the school staff as well. I'm glad that you're here, because I hear your perspective from a teacher.
Yeah.
Not to give away any secrets, but he likes to get out of this one class, and and right after that PE, and he was saying this morning, man, this is great.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of that class, but the teachers are fantastic at the school.
I appreciate that.
I want to highlight something that you said, Andrew, and that's that. So mentors are sometimes nervous coming into the program thinking, oh, I don't really remember 8th grade math. What if they help me for homework? Well, here's a mentor who could definitely help. With that tutoring. But Teammates is not a tutoring program. That you come in and you play pool, play board games. So don't worry if you don't remember 8th grade math. It's gonna be okay. It's not about homework help. It's about forming a relationship, and whether that is a coloring book or over walks around the playground, or my mentee and I play a lot of board games. If you can play a good game of Uno, you can be a good mentor. So don't worry about being a tutor. That's not what we're about.
Exactly.
When I first met him, trying to establish a connection, I snuck him into the gym, and then we had a football, and we were trying to make baskets from 50 feet away. And somebody walked in, looked at me like, what are you doing? I'm a mentor.
Official police work.
But there's just ways to connect. And
exactly.
When you look at the relationship aspect of it, that's something I've never been good at making friends. And I know it's not, mentor and friend isn't the same thing, but you say relationship, that just sounds like such a scary word. There's so many ways. It's a big word. It's a meaningful word, right? It's not just, I know your name. We see each other in the hallway, high five. What is it about, being a mentor where you have to, kind of help form that relationship, but it has to come from both sides, right? It's not just one of you investing into the other. It's both of you, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that was one of my bigger concerns going into the program was, is this going to be me just having to, do all the talking and all the work, but it's really just kind of come naturally. And I've been lucky that, he is, he loves sharing about his life, but he also likes asking me questions too. And that's really been helpful, as far as forming a good mentor-mentee relationship. I think just, it's like any relationship. You just, you ask questions, you get to know the person, you show them that you care, that you are genuine about, their interest and what they do. And so that's been great. And just establishing like that comfort zone of, it's okay to, it's okay to share, but I kind of let him kind of lead the way as far as that goes. What are you comfortable sharing? He likes talking about, like his car. He's, just turned 16. So it's been, buying the used car and all that process. And, I got to do a little bit of work on it later. And so he's really into that. So it's just finding those things that they are interested in is just, I think that's a big part of it, and just getting to know that stuff.
And to what he's saying, Emily, you would know better. It's not just you're randomly paired up, right? They have interest. You say what you're interested in. You try to match them up to make that as easy as possible, right?
Absolutely. Both new mentors and new mentees fill out a survey so for the mentors, we ask them, what were your favorite subjects in school? What do you consider some of your personality traits? What personality traits would you like to see in the young person that you're matched with? How important is age? How important is if you have a specific location, say you're a Northeast grad, I want to go back to Northeast. But then there's a box at the bottom that is just a blank field that you can put life experience in there. I put in that I had experienced the death of a parent and that I had lived overseas. And so those were things that were really taken into account when I was matched. They're not things that we talk about all the time, but they're things that were taken into account. And before I was matched, I was interviewed by the facilitator of the school. So every school has a staff member who's sort of in charge of teammates in that building, and they know all of the kids who are waiting for a mentor. So she chatted with me and then looked over her list of kids and said, "Oh, this is the kid for you." So funnily enough, I majored in opera performance in college, so I'm a singer. My very first meeting with my mentee, what she said was, "I want to go outside because that's the only place I'm allowed to sing."
Oh, no.
And so we did. We went out on the playground and we sang. And so there are sort of those magic moments that the school staff, they know these kids and they know what they need. And we hear often from mentors that not only did this kid need a mentor, this kid needed me. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the magic of it, when we're able to make those matches that I hope turn into lifelong friendships.
Absolutely. And along a similar vein, we have a question from the text line. Can veterans be mentors? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I assume the answer is yes.
Absolutely. Yes, we need tons and tons of mentors. We need 600 more mentors if we're going to get all those kids off the wait list. You can mentor from the time you're 18. We have a mentor who is 94. So our mentors run the gambit. And the other thing that I think is really important to know is that all of the kids on the wait list want to be there. There's no kid who's ever assigned to become a part of teammates. They've all said, I want to be a part of this program. Ken, you were talking about your mentee's friend. We're seeing more and more mentees that are self-nominating and saying, hey, how do I get on the wait list? How do I get myself a mentor? Because they're seeing how much fun their friends are having and the impact that it's making. So all of the kids want to be there. Vets, we would love to have you mentor. And the way to get started is to go to lincolnteammates.org. There's a big button right at the top that says become a mentor. We would love to have you.
I pulled the website up. It is the first button. You cannot miss it if you try. I don't care if you're 94 years old, never used a computer before. It says become a mentor. You can click the button. I believe in you. You can do it. We'll step aside for just a second, but more of the Teammates Mentoring Hour after this.
Think you need a new furnace due to a cracked heat exchanger? Call Bryant for a free second opinion. Might save you thousands, no matter what brand. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. We do whatever it takes.
A new year means new goals and upgrading, but that doesn't only apply to health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Flowers and chocolates are great for Valentine's Day, but you know what really earns you bonus points? A massage. No, not from you, but from the professionals at The Body Shop. Now is the time to purchase a gift certificate for your significant other to make sure you're the big winner this Valentine's Day. Go to thebodyshoplincoln.com and select from their variety of specific massages. Once you've purchased, you can either print out the certificate or email it to the lucky recipient. Do Valentine's Day right this year with a massage from The Body Shop at 48th and A.
Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum. James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, you find the benefit of three.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate. Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day workweek schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Teammates Mentoring Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Right along here in a beautiful, it's a Wednesday. Yes, it is a Wednesday, has been all day. Still don't know what day it is, but hey, that's okay. Beautiful Wednesday here for the Teammates Mentoring Hour. We've got Emily, Ken, and Andrew in studio with us here. And during break, had a fascinating conversation about how, we have the mentee-mentor relationship, but mentors knowing each other and being there for each other. How important have you seen that be, Emily?
I think it's super important. One thing that I think makes teammates unique is that you're part of a network. We're not ever just going to put you out there with a student and say, okay, go. You have a bunch of people supporting you. So there's that facilitator in every single school building who's, a direct line that you can go talk to anytime. We also have 3 full-time match support specialists on staff that you can call at any time if you ever have any questions or concerns. We want people to be supported. We have, before we ever match you with a student, you go through a training session that really gives you time to know what to expect. We want you to feel prepared and know how to access those resources. So we're never going to put you out there on your own. But I think it's so cool to hear mentors talking to one another about their experiences. And I think that's really powerful and affirming.
Do we have any of those training dates coming up soon?
We do. We have a training that's actually happening this Friday, late afternoon, I believe. And if you go to our website, lincolnteammates.org, under that Become a Mentor spot, there's a spot to sign up for trainings. So you can get started even this week.
Awesome. Ken and Andrew, we'll turn this to you. Ken, we'll start with you here. On the force, you were mentioning you knew someone else who was a mentor. What was that like, comparing your experiences and having someone else in the program there with you?
It's amazing. I'll mention his name, Matt Franken. He's one of the best ever on the police department. He fills so many different roles there. And one of them is being a mentor. And he's done that for quite a while too. And I think he has maybe a little more difficult time with his young man than I do, but he and I have talked and compared notes and finding out that we both get the same satisfaction out of doing this, and that we're pulling for these young people, that we want them to succeed. We want them to be leaders. And there's several other officers too that do this. I think Emily mentioned there's like 16, and there's others that are talking about it because we talk about it. They used to see me go the last year or so. I had a little more freedom to go unless something really bad happened, and so everybody knew I was doing that. And we meet kids in different environments rather than what the teachers do, but we share the responsibilities with the kids. And you see the best and the worst out there with families, with kids, regardless of the status, the race. You have the best of all, and then you have sometimes the worst of all. And you just don't want to see kids who have an opportunity to survive and to do well. You don't want them to fall behind and so on. But yeah, it's good to share that there's another ex-officer that I see quite often that's going to visit. And I had no idea. I wouldn't have expected him to be a mentor, but he does a great job.
And again, that's to the point. You need all sorts of mentors. People that say might not be for me, might not be for you. You need everyone,
Absolutely.
Every type of person, which is why the survey, I think, is so important to get all those people matched up. Andrew is a teacher then.
Yeah.
What's it been like knowing other teachers who are mentors, and how has that helped you in your relationship?
Oh, absolutely. Well, and first of all, I think it's just great that there's a connection with the police department in Lincoln, and just knowing your line of work and how difficult it can be. But then the fact that you're able to mentor and help out and, be just such a positive part of the community as well. And that kids can see that, that's great. So, and then with other teachers, the teacher that got me into teammates, it was great just talking with her about, how her mentoring was going. She's a great teacher. Her name's Terry Schrick. And she always just cared so much about, her students in class, I remember, and wanting them to be successful and just holding them to, high expectations, but she also really cared about them. And I think that really translated over into her mentoring relationship too, just knowing that she was there for them and cared about them. And so, it's great to see so many teachers getting involved with it, not just at our school, but I know at other schools as well. So I think it's nice, I think, for those students to see maybe teachers outside the classroom in a different setting, It could be fun for me too, just like getting out of teacher mode for a little bit, and hey, we're gonna play a board game. We're not gonna we don't talk about math or anything like that. The fun stuff. So yeah, that's been great. Yeah.
Talk about that, getting out of teacher mode, getting out of cop mode, getting out of parent mode, because that's not what you're there to do. You're there to be a mentor. That's not your day job. That's not what you went to school to do. What's the difference between those mindsets, between, what you get paid to do and what you get to do?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're both great roles. I feel like, though, I'm able to just kind of be myself a little bit more in the mentoring role. In the teacher role, you can obviously be yourself, but there's that kind of that obligation that you feel like, hey, I'm responsible for, helping these students learn math, and, we can have fun sometimes, but we also have to, we have to work hard and, all those things. So, but with the mentoring aspect, I feel like I can just kind of relax a little bit, be myself, and just, just talk about kind of everyday things and just make that connection there. So, yeah.
As a parent, how do you go from parent mode to mentor mode? What's that difference like?
I love getting out of the office and spending an hour on something completely different. Turn off work brain, and just think about what's happening in that moment. And I really believe that mentoring has informed my parenting. So much of mentoring is about active listening, and I only see my mentee once a week, so hearing the names of her friends and really trying to track what's happening with all of these people, and storing that in my brain to have it ready for next week, because that's what's important to her, and therefore it's important to me. And so taking an hour to consciously listen and pay close attention to somebody, and seeing the power of that. So much in parenting, it's easy to be sort of ships passing in the night. Everyone's kind of got all this stuff going on, but knowing the power of that active listening and saying, hey, maybe I should be doing this with my family too.
Yeah.
I think it's really important, and mentoring has changed the way I parent in that way.
Ken, what was it like for you going from day job on the clock to, hey, here's this hour, I'm with my mentee now?
Oh, again, I always look forward to doing that. I'm going to kind of piggyback off of you as a parent. He is 14 now. When my kids were 14, it was like pulling teeth trying to get a conversation going. They're just to sit down with them and talk. So I kind of play a parent role sometimes. I try to catch myself from doing that. But my main thing is to encourage him with studies, talking about, how are you doing in math? How are you doing in this? If you're going to be an athlete, if you want to get a scholarship, you got to concentrate on that. I remember a summertime meeting that we had when I walked him out, and his grandma's there. And I didn't even say anything. She started to say the same thing. She was, a little more direct in reference to that. And he was just very kind to her and listen. And again, that's what I appreciate about him. So it's a different role. I think I went more to a parent role, or rather than anything else. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but kind of.
Yeah, it does. So building off of that, then, to me, it sounds like the most important part of this is the relationship, right? Where you can do parent things, you can do teacher things, you can do friend things, but in a mentor role. But to me, it all comes down to that trust, right? So the kid knows that you're not coming at it trying to be an additional parent, right?
Right. And I think that helped being a parent. I've got 4 kids, and learning along the way too, learning to be a little more flexible, but understanding maybe someone more than they know as being that age. And just you develop that, again, the hope that they get through all this, being a kid in these days. And I don't know how teachers do it. I had a different relationship, with kids on the street and so on. But we always made sure that we paid attention to the kids. But it's kind of a different challenge in this day and age. And
Mhm.
I love the fact that this young man has a lot of sports activities, a lot of opportunities that way. And but he darn well better do all of his homework. I want him to succeed.
Absolutely. Well, and I just think back, just growing up, I was really lucky to have my mom and dad were just great role models to me, and taught me a lot about life and hard work, and just setting a good example. So I've kind of, now as a grown up, it's been nice to try to set that example for somebody, or just serve as a positive role model in any way that you can. Not necessarily in the parent role, but just setting that good example, and knowing that you can try to be a positive influence on somebody. And so that's just been great too. And I have a little almost 2-year-old son. He'll be 2 on Friday. So happy early birthday there, Charlie. But I kind of think of him growing up, and how do I want to serve to being a positive role model and a parent for him as well. So yeah,
I'd like to echo that. My dad especially was quite an influence on me. I learned a lot from watching him. He didn't say much, but he was very positive. So it's kind of paying it forward. I'm wanting to do that. I had a high school football coach that I still remember, probably get emotional. I still remember what a great person he was, what he taught us. I remember, when we were young, we were getting crushed in football because we had a young team. By the time we were seniors, we were just a bunch of junkyard dogs, and we were beating up on a team that we really wanted to show them something. And he pulled us all out and put in, and we were mad at him at first, going, what are you doing? He says, that's not, if you're going to be a good sport, that's not what you do. Mm-hmm. So that always stuck with me. And again, I kind of see this in my mentee as well, that he understands that. And we talked about that as well.
I love that idea of paying it forward. So one of the people who was a mentor to me was my boss at my very first job. Her name's Donna, and she believed in me in ways that I didn't believe in myself. She handed me projects that I had no business doing, but she believed I could do it. And because she believed, then I believed. And that's something that I hope I can pass on to my mentee. I think my mentee views me more as an adult peer, if that makes any sense, an adult friend. And I'm so grateful for the trust that she puts in me. I know she talks to me about things that she probably doesn't feel comfortable talking to her parents about. And I'm so glad that she has an adult that she trusts in that way. And I feel super honored to be a part of that.
Having been a kid not too long ago, I still feel like one. It is nice to have something you can go to. And parents, they're parents. Now, they're parents. They're there to be parents. And, they're there for you and they love you and they're there to listen. It's hard to talk to them sometimes. Like either out of embarrassment, out of fear, out of whatever it is. All sorts of different reasons that it's hard to talk to parents. That's why it's so important to have someone else, whether it is a coach, whether it is a teacher, whether it is a mentor, just as someone else. Because even if, like you said, Ken, you're given the same message, it's a different voice. And that relationship is just different enough that the message can sink in a different way.
For sure.
Absolutely. I know when I was my mentee's age, I was just a smart aleck to my parents all the time. And I'm sure it just annoyed them sometime, or you'd be embarrassed at like a school event, like, I just want to go hang out with my friends and stuff. So, but luckily I've grown out of that. So we have a great relationship now, but yeah, it is nice having that other, just that other adult voice too, that they can hear and trust.
And I think it's so powerful that the mentor keeps showing up, and the kids know that this is not somebody who is paid to be there. This is, not a teacher, not a coach. Mm-hmm. This is somebody who is there because they believe in you, and you are the sole reason that they are there. Mm-hmm. And they enjoy spending time with you. And I think that that's really empowering to a young person.
My mentee surprised me too at one time. He says, I can talk to him because he doesn't judge me. And that's what's, I think, the best part of our relationship. I can tell him things that I've seen, things that I've gone through, hoping that something will stick somewhere about alcohol or drugs or anything like that. But, anything he tells me, I'm not a parent. I'm not there to judge him. And yeah, he's real good about that. So.
How important is it then to make sure that stays within your relationship, right? That it doesn't branch outside, and obviously not gossiping about the kid, but how important is it to maintain that trust in that relationship so they keep coming to you?
Yeah, I think it's really important. And I remember going to the training for teammates, and they were really good about going over, just going over all those kind of guidelines with you, and advice, with how to handle certain things. But I do think they really emphasize just, building that trust, building that positive relationship, so that that's the role of a mentor, is make sure your mentee, they look up to you and they know that, what they're telling you is, important to them, but also it's, we're not here to judge, like you were saying. We're just here to, guide you and talk to you, and just listen to your feelings, and, and just kind of be there to be that support for them when they need it. So
that's good that they have, I don't think restrictions is the right word, but where we're not able to communicate with them otherwise. And that way we keep the trust going on. We're not talking to other people, other ball players, talking together like that in that respect.
Yeah, the mentoring relationship is special in that your gift to them is your time and your care. And that one meeting a week is sort of magical, because there is some time that happens in between. So there's always something to talk about, but you're not communicating via social media, or they're not, texting you at all hours of the night. And I think that that's also sort of a relief for mentors, probably, to know that this is your role, and you're not going to be able to solve all the problems in the world, or even all the problems in this one child's life in 1 hour a week. That's not your role. Your role is to be a listener and occasionally an advocate, but mostly you're there to be an ally and a friend.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the best parts of the program, is like it's a commitment. It's a small commitment, but you don't buy them gifts. You're not burdened by, like, you're not responsible for them outside of that hour, but it's about that time. That's the most important part, is just being there for that hour for them. And I just think that is also, teaches them a lot too. I think so many times we get caught up with, I want to buy this person a gift, so I know they care about me. But you don't need to buy them a gift, to show, it's about talking to them. That's the most important part, and just knowing that you're there for them, not the material things and, the food or whatever it is. But, so yeah, that's what I've really enjoyed about the program, is just the, I don't know how to say this, but just the most important part about it is that relationship.
Dr. Osborne talks about the most valuable gift you can give being your time. You can always make more money, but everyone has a finite amount of time, and choosing to give it to that young person is so powerful and so meaningful.
That is so good. Again, I thought I didn't have enough time. Certainly you can make an hour. Anybody can make an hour to do that, to change some kid's life.
And really, it's not even an hour a week. It's one class period, which in most cases are like 40 to 50 minutes. And it's during the school year. So there are 36 weeks in a school year, which is, just a little more than half. But you're not going over the summer. You're not going during winter break when you might be, busy with family and holiday stuff. And of those 36 weeks, we ask you to try and meet 24. We know that the student is going to be absent sometime, or you're going to have a work trip. Some stuff is going to come up. But the schools are generally very flexible, and what's important is letting the mentee know, hey, I can't make it this week, but I'll see you next week. Or I can't make it on Tuesday this week, but I'll see you on Thursday. And that forward thinking and forward looking. So really, we're asking for 24 less than an hours a year.
Exactly.
There you go. You're listening to the Teammates Mentoring Hour here on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll have one more segment when we come back to keep this conversation going.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material farm. Thank you to the people of the healthcare community. Disabled. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
Vershawn Jackson for Brant Excavating. Brant's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brant is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brant Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to brantexcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brant Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go big Brant.
Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Expect sunny skies and an afternoon high of around 35. West winds at around 10. We should stay mainly clear tonight with a low down to around 15. Tomorrow, a high of 35 once again, but increasing cloud cover in the afternoon may cause temperatures to fall by late in the day. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Come see the state's largest display of John Deere equipment at Acres Ag and Turf Expo. Acres Ag professionals and suppliers will be on hand to discuss techniques from tillage and planting to application and harvest. Also, don't miss the full lineup of John Deere mowers and compact tractors. Join us at Grand Island Fauner Park, February 21st and 22nd, or the Lincoln Lancaster Event Center, March 8th and 9th. Go to acres.com to request your free tickets today.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, wanting to say Happy New Year and thank you to all of you for your continued support. We have just closed out another outstanding year, and we want to start 2023 off with a bang. The new GMC and Chevrolet inventory continues to roll in, and I'll actually be picking up my 2023 GMC later this month. So with interest rates continuing to climb, Copple is partnering with General Motors and now offering 2.9% APR on select models. So we invite you to the dealership. Check us out online at copplecars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit. Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is the Teammates Mentoring Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back one final time here on the Teammates Mentoring Hour on 93.7 The Ticket. Emily had a great point. We're a sports station. That's what we talk most of the day. And we've got 3 coaches in the room right now. So it's Ken and Andrew, you guys have coached before. What's it been like, coaching versus mentoring and then balancing kind of the two of those and your approach in them?
Yeah, well, yeah. First of all, I put coaching in quotes for sure. I was like, I did a little bit of coaching at the middle school I work at, Irving, and coached some basketball, and that was another thing where it was just fun to see the kids in a different environment. But one thing I remember is we have like an A, B, and C team where A is the most skilled level, and then C is the least skilled. But one of the most fun things I remember was the C team that year went undefeated. I don't know when it was, and one of the kids who had never played basketball before, at the end of the season, he wrote me a little letter just said, "Hey, thank you so much. Like, that was the most fun I ever had, playing basketball." So it's just so fun to see that, like, here's a kid that's never played basketball before, but just had so much fun, learning the sport and playing it. And to me, that was just as much fun as, coaching the kids that are, really good, but maybe not always having as much fun necessarily. And then, yeah, with the mentoring and coaching, I mean, yeah, there's some similarities there, and you want to encourage, just positive attitudes and just being good sports in life, on the court or on the field and outside of that realm too. So, yeah.
I was assistant coach on a soccer team and a baseball team. We were a dynasty. They were excellent. I decided to do my own team because my son was in there. We lost every game in 4 years. The thing about it, I wanted everybody to play every position that they wanted to. I want everybody to have an opportunity to pitch. We had some kids that couldn't even get the ball up to the plate. And really, so they got to pitch, their lifetime dream of doing something like that. And I think we can help kids realize some of their dreams by being a mentor. Yes, it's just important. Whoever you are out there, if you're thinking about it, do it. The kids will benefit immensely.
Speaking of pitching, that's what we're going to do to wrap up the show. Why did you become a mentor? How has that, impacted you, and why should someone else consider it?
I became a mentor when I moved to Lincoln because I wanted to get involved in the community. And Tom Osborne and LPS are like as rooted in this community as you can get. But getting to know that young person and forming that relationship is so powerful, to watch them grow, to grow alongside them in your relationship. And she has changed how I think. And you can make such an impact on the community, one person at a time. That's the best way to make change and the best way to have a positive impact. One person at a time, by being a mentor, you can do that.
I always thought I would do some volunteering when I retired. And then, finding out more about the teammates, why wait? And that's when it started. Again, we're doing it for the kids, but for me, when I found out he still wanted to continue with me this year, made me think that I am making a little bit of a difference with him. And that's why I'm making the pitch for each and every one out there to do it. You can make the time. It is a commitment, but it is really, really rewarding for everyone, I believe.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would say if you decide to be a teammate mentor, you won't regret it. It's a great experience. It makes a big impact, and it's a commitment, but not a big one. My father-in-law, he's also a teammate mentor, and he always just speaks so highly of it, and really enjoys sharing stories about his mentee as well with us. So it's fun to hear from him. So I would just encourage anybody that's interested to really do it. There's a high demand for mentors, especially among men. Emily was saying to me earlier. So, get out there and do it, and you'll feel good about yourself. You don't have to do a lot. It's just helping one person, but it's making a big difference.
That sounds like something you're interested in. Emily, one more time, where do they go to get signed up?
LincolnTeammates.org and hit that big old Become a Mentor button right on the homepage. We would love to have you join us.
Please do. Well, Emily, Ken, Andrew, thank you for being here. Thank you for what you do in the community. You're making a difference. All of us at 93.7 The Ticket appreciate it. Thank you for all you do. This has been the Teammates Mentoring Hour here on 93.7 The Ticket. We got the Ticket Weeknights with Carter Lungi coming up after this.
Don't go anywhere. More of the Teammates Mentoring Hour is minutes away on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Bill from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best